Hey folks, Valentin the Mad here, and today I have a new dev interview. This one is with two of the lead devs behind Status Entropos, an upcoming military shooter where destructible environments are a key feature. Until not very long ago, it was titled Entropia. Some of you came across it, and recently they were forced to change their title. I'll link their full statement in the description below. In this interview, we talked about what the game is, the key features, their vision, the lore, the release plans, and there is a showcase of the destruction mechanics and a discussion of what they're going for in this regard. Gore is going to be a factor too, to a degree, and a second video on that is coming tomorrow. So, without further ado, let's begin. Hi, welcome, let's begin with your introduction.
Hello, my name is Max Ulman. I'm the lead of JuneFolks, the team behind Status Entropos, and today I'll tell a bit about our game, its features and lore. And here is our second lead, SkyluX.
Good day, I'm SkyluX. I'll tell more about art and characters later.
Alright guys, so what is Status Entropos?
Yeah, Status Entropos is a multiplayer PvP session-based game about teamfights, mostly focused on attack and defense. We put a lot of attention to use of covers, destructibility, deep tactical options, gadgets, and most importantly, team interaction. All this based on military technologies of 2020s, 2030s, which is our alternative reality. We ourselves get very inspired from the brutality and intensity of Insurgency Sandstorm. I'm a big fan of this game, actually.
Me too.
And I believe that's somewhat similar intensity mixed with deep team play mechanics, destructibility, and tactical game modes may find a lot of love amongst tactical FPS fans. And
So we're talking about quick time to kill, yeah?
yeah, pretty quick time to kill. Maybe not that quick, maybe one or two bullets longer, but yeah.
Also powerful explosives as well.
And saying of atmosphere, we get inspiration from Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, and Battlefield 1. Personally, I think Battlefield 1 is something just incredible. We'd like to create a grounded, authentic FPS without any clownery or like pink elves or any collaborations with, popular rappers and other stuff. And
Oh yeah,
it's
I hear you.
yeah, and it's kind of important that without any political agenda, because it's kind of
Yeah, I do appreciate that it does get shoved a bit too much.
yeah.
Mhm.
Lastly, some like many military games, and not actually military, many games just go that way.
Yeah.
And another thing is brutal and powerful weapons, as we've just said, realistic gear and camouflage, and living, original and distinct characters. So when it comes to the characters, we get inspired by actually the chemistry scene in Team Fortress 2. So there are many memes, many other kind of videos and stuff where you can see these interactions, including even roughness, banter, or strong sense of personality. I won't say that, I won't citate that, but I guess if you know, you know.
Alright, let's talk about the game modes and what the game flow is gonna be like, so how it's gonna go.
We'll have 4 game modes, and two main game modes are intended for 20 players. First of them is kind of experimental, and I would like to save it as a big surprise, so I can't really tell much. But I tell that it's asymmetrical and based on attack and defense. And the second main mode is something like pretty modified team deathmatch. So nothing really like super experimental, super innovative, but just the way we see it. And
Yeah, I think that just team deathmatch in destructible environments is innovative enough as it is, because no games really do it.
I guess, yeah, maybe.
If you can think of any, please tell me, because I can't.
I mean, Battlefield is kind of about that.
Yeah, only Battlefield.
Eh,
But yeah, Battlefield is
issues.
not really about TDMs, they are more about capture flags or like...
It isn't very much about destruction either.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
it's not usable. Like you can destroy the things, but you don't use destruction for.
You can
your
destroy
gameplay.
some things.
Yeah.
That's my big issue with it.
Yeah.
Well, Battlebeat is kind of about that, but unfortunately, like not unfortunately, but I say it's a really different gameplay. So it's about the scale. We are not about scale. We are more about the actual
Intense.
combat and the intents of the combat. Yeah.
Mhm.
So the third mode is a small tactical CQB mode, which is actually live now because we don't have dedicated servers, so we can host only this small mode intended for like 8 or 10 people. It's nothing much about it because it's just run and gun actually. And the fourth mode will be a big mode intended for 40 people. We'll add it, I guess, maybe in early access or in beta, somewhere there, and hopefully it will include vehicles and like really big scale. Not big scale like in Battlefield or Battlebeat or Squad or maybe Arma and different military simulators. More about
linear, I guess.
Yeah,
maybe.
linear and like several squads are like fighting with each other. Yeah, and also
So like more than 2 teams or?
it will be for 2 teams, but several squads. Like it's like small battlefield,
Maybe push from Sandstorm, but a bit bigger and with destruction.
Okay.
Yeah, that way.
So let's talk about the setting, the locations and the factions in the game.
Entropos has a massive lore written, but for now it's the playable slice is set in the year 2027. It is just the beginning of the active phase of the story, and actually the seconds before the World War III. We have an idea of big regions with separate maps in them. So, for example, it won't be just like map here, map there, map somewhere in another place. It's something about a big region with several maps connected in a single lore or single setting. So, for example, I can tell now about east of Russia. This region it's called Chukotka in real life, and it includes maps on the Bering Strait Dam. It's a fictional, actually, dam nearby a town and a concrete plant. I would say it's the most important region in our game because it's actually the place where the story unfolds. So the Bering Strait Dam is something which was actually planned or which was actually projected to be built in the Soviet Union and the US, but for some reason it wasn't built. I mean, it's not really realistic. But in our lore, it actually is, but it's somewhat a way. It's we can compare it to the Babylonian Tower. So the dam was kind of symbolizing the global peace and
connection.
Connection between two great nations, and after the Soviet Union fell apart. But it wasn't actually realistic, so now we are actually in seconds before the World War III. And the second region, I can't really tell much, but it's an American region set in Miami and its suburbs. There will be more, pretty rare in games and popular culture, but I guess, that's all we can reveal at the moment.
So a question I had is perhaps later down the line, but let's say for example someone just wants to chill in in just carnage, destruction, but with bots, doesn't want to go online, just wants to chill.
Single player modes.
Single player mode, is it planned at any point?
Yeah, it's a pretty popular question. I would say that we are not actually developing it right now because it's single player mode is a really expensive and hard task at any point, but especially at this point. But personally, I think it's a great option, playing fully offline. So, for example, you're at in an island or at your granny's house or anywhere, or you don't have any internet, you haven't paid internet bills. So it's a great option to play offline. I agree, but like we have some plans for it as the last thing we will do, because there's a bunch of more important things for us. So for now we are fully focused on multiplayer game modes, mechanics, and systems.
Yeah, of course.
Well, we think that we should do things neither good or not. So if we start making it, we should make it really great. So that's why we don't like make it right now, because we realistically can't make it function good at the moment, just of lacking resources for that. The
Yeah, of course.
AI, the other things to make it interesting and not like silly or I don't know targets to shoot.
Yeah, for now, actually.
In the end, making AI understand there's destruction, yeah, so that there's a hole it can go
So
through
it's
now.
changing environment and so on. And
So bots need to be pretty
Smart.
adaptive and smart. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Alright guys, so do we have any more key features perhaps we haven't talked about?
Yeah, we have some more features. So first of all, it's authenticity and immersion. It's really important for us. So we have pretty high expertise in modern firearms and equipment, and actually many of our friends have real-world experience with them, including even combat experience. So we aim to represent weapon mechanics accurately and represent gear, especially body armor, its correct appearance and functionality. So by this I mean a good balance between playability and depth. So for example, weapons and gear are faction specific but balanced by their role and characteristics. Like two factions, assaulter classes have not standard M4 versus AK-74. In our game they have M4 versus AK-971 because of their fire rates. So, for example, AK-74 and its modernized versions are balanced against SCAR L due to exactly similar lower fire rates. And this principle applies across all equipment or weapons. Another thing we can be proud of and brag a little bit is our original visual style. It's a big thing we'll improve and develop during, I guess, maybe next couple of years. So we put a lot of attention in that because most games, especially in Unreal Engine, tend to look really pretty the same. So if they're chasing ultra realism with the same assets and relying heavily on Lumen or RTX technologies, or they're using just the same stylized assets, like for example Polygon 1, it's a pretty popular one. We actually use it as well, but for placeholders and some minor things. So we spent 2 years developing the foundation of our own style, and we still continue to refine it. We call it low poly on steroids. So it's because it's stylized but grounded. So we can see our characters, our gear, weapons. So everything has simplified shapes, but proportions are realistic and not twisted, warped, and we have no tendency for cartoonish visuals. You can actually say that this thing is actually this thing. You don't need to guess what it is. And
the visuals are distinctive. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pardon me.
Yeah, and lastly, I would like to say that we are not a corporate entity, not a studio, I am not a CEO or anything of that. We are just a team. So we are just passionate gamers. We have our principles, our love for games, and we actually like to create something finally for players. We're not really chasing for big numbers or big audience. We play a ton of FPS, mostly hardcore ones, and we like to create something. We like to play ourselves. So there would be no compromises for mass player base. No, as I already said, no like pink elves, no like super monetization or any other thing. So we're just making a game. Yeah.
So let's get to the fun stuff, the destruction. So let's have the showcase.
So for now, we are actually creating something like physical-based destruction, like base. So there are walls, there are some props, some models on the scene, but there will be some. There's a lot of work ahead, like more effects, more. Okay, I'll just show you what comes when you.
Yeah, the house is asking to be blown up.
Yeah. So let's start with this. It's not really how it's meant to be because, like,
Of course, it is work in progress.
like for our first showcase was when the wall actually like had no health points, so you could destroy it like pretty easily. So for now, it's a bit harder. Oh, I guess I need to show the FPS that it's pretty fine. But one thing is killing my FPS, and it's our optics. So I'll just show that we have pretty decent amount of FPS when we don't have optics in our hands. So it grows till 180. But unfortunately, for now, optics is rendering all the time, so it will be a bit bad.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. So for now, we are trying to create more like base for the further improvements, like some kind of, I'm not sure how it's called in English, like.
Скажи на русском, я переведу.
Like carcass.
Каркас, foundation, может быть?
Yeah, like foundation or something.
Mm-hmm.
So there will be like for now we can actually destroy almost the whole building, and it unfortunately has no. It cannot be destroyed fully. Like, oh, I'm here. Let's destroy the ceiling. Oh, for now it hasn't animations of hands, of arms. So you can you can destroy pretty everything. Like I guess almost everything, because I'm still working on this wooden part of the building, so it's not destroying. But I'll show you a bit more.
Would the buildings eventually come down?
Yeah. So
in the perhaps full game.
So that's what I'm telling. We're still work in progress. We'll need to create the system that can be when we can attach some models to each other. So, for example, some pictures on the walls, or clocks, or some TVs, or that we have this carpet on the wall. So, for now, it will stay at this.
I mean, if you've played Men of 4 Assault Squad 2, it had very cool building destruction. So you would have just parts of buildings come down.
Yeah.
Kind of had like this some degree of partial structural integrity. It was very cool. So kind of perhaps that in a first-person shooter.
Yeah, for now.
Because you usually have like either like very dynamic, which you can't really have in multiplayer, or something like Battlefield, where basically there's a building health points if you even have the bloody building come down. Yeah. So.
Yeah, like for now, it's more like destroying the walls, and the roof will stay in the same place. It's like Minecraft destruction, but we'll actually make when the whole building can collapse at the when you'll be able to damage it enough.
So we're talking about more like Battlefield style buildings collapsing, yeah?
Battlefield is more about simplified damage with simplified
but I mean, like for example, I mean, like, is the reference gonna be closer to, as I mentioned previously, Men of War Assault Squad 2, where it's kind of like parts of the buildings have some structural integrity relations, or is it gonna be like just the whole building just comes down when it gets enough damage, you know?
Yeah, it's like for now we have some like, how can I say it? Like some types of structure. So the actual foundation, some maybe columns, some basement, some columns, some supporting constructions, which are not currently made. So that's why the whole building is not like collapsing like whole. And we have some destruction like walls and stuff.
Yeah.
I'll show you another map a little bit later. Yeah, so for now you can destroy pretty everything. It's just a matter of time and your patience.
Yeah.
And eventually we'll make when like the thing when the whole building can collapse like totally. It will be more like maybe Battlefield Bad Company 2, but more more physics based. So more smaller parts. Like, you know, if you've played BattleBeat, so they've had a pretty decent system there. It was pretty simple because they didn't have, as far as I know, they didn't have the ceilings or the floors like detailed destruction, but they actually had this brick by brick destruction, which was, I guess, it's the most detailed destruction ever, like before us.
Yeah, I think I get to what you're going for. So, well, pretty much every building in the game that you're playing in will be able to have it come down. Like, I've seen some bigger ones in the trailers.
Yep, the actual playable buildings will be pretty detailed, maybe something like this, so you can destroy pretty everything. And for example, buildings which are somewhere there, they'll have simplified destruction, which will be like maybe Battlefield 4 or something.
Yeah, you mean like outside the playable area, right?
Yep. So you can.
Oh yeah. So okay. So that's actually very cool. So if, for example, you have a stray RPG, go into a building that you can't even fight in, you'll still see response.
Yeah, it will just collapse. Maybe the whole wall will fall in one or two pieces, not in.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, not brick by brick.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that is more than I was expecting, to be honest. Alright, so do you have anything planned for terrain? You know, like if explosive hits the ground and stuff?
Not really.
Or just deco?
Not really, because we're not really familiar with the technology.
Alright, yeah, that's cool. I'm just asking.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, since it is a multiplayer game, like, it is quite detailed, how is it gonna be handled, like, client side, or how does it, like, work in the, you know, between players?
I can't really say about current state, like current version, because we are actually trying to do something to make this work on our personal computers. But at the first versions, it was fully replicated, so fully simulated on actually the server. But it was actually the thing why our personal computers couldn't handle the whole the big amount of players. But we are actually right now working on like optimizing the system so that we could have the initial like destruction right here. So the bullet comes right here, the server like detects the hit somewhere here, and then the actual physics is calculated on the client side. So that all the holes, all the destructions will be simulated and replicated, so that if you have destroyed this thing, it will be destroyed, and like for every player, so it won't be a problem for multiplayer experience. But some small details, small physics, like for example, like I don't know, like these.
Like the brick itself, the wreckage of the brick itself.
Or some chairs or other
Yeah.
stuff. It will be like client side.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now you mentioned another map with more buildings and stuff.
It's an old map which was built with some kind of older technology, but it has some pretty detailed and another type of material. So it has concrete parts. It has. Oh, I'd like to drop this thing. But I'll need an RPG. Oh, I don't have an RPG. Oh, unfortunately.
Will you be able to bring down the crane, perhaps? With a good twist
currently
shot?
no, but yeah, we are planning that.
Oh, nice.
So we've tested some kind of props destruction. It has not really right amount of health, so so the balloons take 2 shots.
Sturdy balloons.
This is some kind of bug when it has collision.
Yeah, it's alright, everyone understands it is work in progress. Like, the whole point of the interviews is to showcase stuff early on. That's the most fun.
Oh, maybe let's try with a grenade. Now we have a grenade reload.
And eventually everything, the freezers and everything's gonna be destructible, yeah?
Is planned, yeah.
By the way, what brought you guys to actually to say, you know what, we want fully destructible environments, no like ifs, buts, no BS, no like this wall stays intact for balance or whatever. So how'd you guys get to it?
Yeah, I agree that it's a pretty rare thing to see in first-person shooters. Like, the only game that comes to my mind is actually Battlebeat Remastered.
But it isn't fully destructible. I played it for a bit and it wasn't like you still had some modes that tell you no, you can't.
Yeah, but I mean, still it's pretty high detailed destruction. And regarding our game, it's we're just making a tactical experience, tactical game, and the main idea is behind it is that you need to feel the feedback of to see the results of your actions. So if you are shooting the wall, so you'll see that if you have a powerful enough weapon, you will see that you actually can destroy the wall. If you have a pistol or I don't know, like small caliber weapon, then you can't destroy the wall, and you actually like get the feedback from your actions at the real time. You see your enemy, and if the enemy runs behind a cover, in most games you'll just stop shooting and you'll just think that okay, I need to chase him or throw a grenade or think something different. In Entropos you'll just shoot further, so you'll just go on shooting. Of course, if you have pretty powerful weapon to penetrate the cover. And from perspective of a defender part, it's also interesting that you can build something. So you can set a small cover or build some sandbags or something like that. So every second something changes. You're in a fully dynamic and changing environment.
I could add that not many games have the difference between visual cover and actual cover, and that would change the tactics a lot. And the difference between the ability to penetrate some covers and destroy them fully are depending on the weapons as well. So it's not only just penetrate or destroy, only destroy. It's like both, and it always different between covers and weapons, and that's really deep and different from many games. So we would love to have that experience.
Alright guys, so what are your release plans? Like, when people will be able to play the game?
Well, currently we are in the closed pre-alpha stage, and actually people can already try the game by subscribing on us on Patreon and Boosty pages. So, like, contributing to the development will grant you access to the tech demo, so you can try it either offline or online on some periodical playtests we do once or twice per month. But currently, it's the game state is really raw, so it's you need to understand that it's a tech demo, and we are planning to switch to dedicated servers by the end of the year, and then we'll move to normal alpha stage, and I guess the game will be available to all Patreon subscribers starting from the second tier, and the actual start of sales on Steam will be only after beta, so when we'll start early access.
Alright, yeah, gotcha, it sounds good. What I saw looks good, and good luck guys, yeah.
Yeah, thank you.